Hey there, thanks for joining me today. This is Laura Lynn with Keep Inking Up. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! In San Antonio, Texas. And today I wanted to create a card with a couple of tips. I want to share a couple of tips, and we're going to make a card using the Well Said stamp set and coordinating dies, as well as the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set and coordinating dies. So I'm going to begin with my standard cardstock base. This is 4 1/4 by 11, and I have folded it in half at 5 1/2 to create a standard A2 size card that'll fit in our medium size envelopes. And then I've done a little bit of pre-work already. I have a piece of Whisper White that is 4 by 5 1/4, and I have sponged a little bit of Misty Moonlight on here, as well as stamped the All My, which is the sentiment from the Well Said. This Well Said stamp set and coordinating dies is just amazing. It has so many sentiments that cover so many occasions. Here you can see I have all of my dies in here, and I also have, I've shown this in previous videos, I have a I've cut out all of the die so I know exactly what is in the die set. And then I keep a clear envelope in here with leftovers from previous projects. So if I need to use them later on, I already have some cut. So anyway, the All My comes from that stamp set. So this is, like I said, it's 4 by 5 1/4, and I've also embossed it with the Tasteful Textiles 3D embossing folder. If you follow me at all, you know that I use that folder all the time. So that's gonna be part of our card. Another part of our card is a matte layer for this, which is Early Espresso, and this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, so it just leaves a little skinny border around the edge of the main panel piece. And if you'll notice, there's a hole in it because I cut out the rest of my sentiment, the love, right out of the middle. That's a paper saving tip that I wanted to share with you. And that love came again from the coordinating, believe they're called Well Written dies. There's just so many of those in this particular set. So what I wanted to share with you, let me put these aside, is how to adhere this intricate die cut. So that's the purpose of this video, or one of the purposes. So to adhere this to my layer under the All My Love, it'll go right there. I'm pulling out my silicone sheet, and I have my multi-purpose liquid glue. If you follow me at all, you know that this is my favorite adhesive. It's great for a lot of different scenarios, and this is one of them. And then I have a sponge dauber. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of glue in the corner of my silicone sheet here. And I'm gonna turn my love upside down. I don't know what's on there. And I'm gonna dab my dauber in the glue and then just tap it on my intricate die. And you can do this with any intricate die. I'm gonna set this aside and I'll pick up the love. And then I can lay this down right here. Make sure it's somewhat straight, and I'll press it down. And that's just a great way of not getting glue all over your fingers because you let the sponge dauber do all the work. And then what I do is I rinse this out under water, and I store my multi-purpose glue and my sponge dauber once I clean it in just a little glass jar. And that's just something that I do to keep my desk space somewhat organized. But I'm going to still use my glue because now that I have this, I'm going to turn it over. And any time that I have an embossed piece of paper, I love to use liquid glue because it gets in the little crannies and nooks of the embossed piece. And I'm going to adhere this to our Early Espresso mat. And also because it's liquid glue, I have a chance to move it around a little bit to make sure I have it as centered as possible. And then I can adhere that to our card base. And you can certainly use Stampin' Dimensionals if you would like for this particular layer, but I'm just going to be using the liquid glue. because it is a really skinny border again, so I have a chance because of that glue to slide it around and get that as centered as I can. That looks good. And now I have a sunflower that I've already colored with my Stampin' Blends and cut out with the coordinating dies. And this is again from the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set and coordinating dies. I love this large sunflower, and I already have dimensionals on the back of it. So I'm going to peel the backings off of those. And then I will put that right there in the blue on the top of the card, and there it is. So I hope you found this video helpful on a couple of tips on saving paper with die cutting out of a matte layer piece of cardstock, and also the tip on how to use your multi-purpose liquid glue to adhere delicate die cuts like the word dies. So thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.